Hey guys, I haven't made a video in a little while, so I decided that it'd be a good idea to come back after a short break with some Call of Duty information kind of style video commentary. And I think what I really want to comment on is the zombies aspect of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War right now because it looks incredibly promising, which is crazy to say considering the only two videos I've made on Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War have been from a perspective of negativity. So when they released the trailer for zombies and everyone's hype started exploding again, I decided to do a little bit of research and see what the hell's coming up with this new zombies mode. And I say new zombies mode because it's not actually a direct like one-to-one to the previous zombies that we've gotten in the past, which is actually a good thing. I want to comment on that right off the bat. It's a good thing that they are changing it up. I think the first thing that I want to comment on when it comes to Black Ops Cold War zombies is the fact that it's not the original 4 anymore. So Tank Dempsey, Nikolai, like the main 4 people, they're not here anymore. It is a completely new cast of characters and it's starting completely fresh as it says here on callofduty.com. By the way, all of the information that I'm going to be talking to you guys about is going to be in the description, so if you want to see for yourself, go for it. But yeah, Black Ops Cold War Zombies is actually apparently starting fresh and new characters are going to be here. So there's a new narrative and there's a new cast of 4. I think that that's not necessarily a terrible decision because after having Tank Dempsey and Nikolai, Rick Toffin, fucking everybody, having them around for too long can start to get kind of boring. I mean, obviously you grow an attachment to the characters that are shown more often, especially with a dynamic as good as those 4, but I think switching it up is probably a good idea. I just hope it doesn't really go down the same path as the Victus crew because, I mean, obviously they were cool, I guess, but the dynamic between them was kind of bland. I mean, there's obviously a story behind it, but there wasn't that same kind of attachment that everybody had with, the original 4 that I keep bringing up. But if they execute this in the proper manner, I actually think that it could be pretty good. It just depends on the dynamic between all of them. I think one massive thing that Black Ops Cold War Zombies is doing to kind of aid in this hype, which is a weird thing, again, for me to say, considering all the stuff I posted about this game in the past, but however, sometimes you got to cover the good. I think one of the best things that they could have done was bring back the main 3, and I say main 3 because as of right now, it doesn't say double tap is here, so don't get your hopes up just yet. But it says so far that they've confirmed Juggernaut, Quick Revive, and Speed Cola coming back, which 3 of the main 4 perks, so it's like absolutely perfect that they're bringing that back, which is fantastic. They're also bringing back Stamina Up, which is amazing. I love that perk to death. It's so good. And Deadshot Daiquiri, which is an incredible perk, and it's also super fucking underrated in my opinion. Another thing is they're bringing a new perk called Elemental Pop, which is kind of interesting. And the perk machine looks like an arcade machine. Apparently what this perk does is once you drink it, every single bullet has a small chance to apply a random base ammo mod effect. And by ammo mod effects, I'm assuming that they're going back to that Black Ops 3 style of double pack-a-punch or whatever you want to call it. So you get the extra like ability on your gun. So like turned or thunderwall or whatever. You guys definitely remember what I'm talking about when I say that. So that's kind of interesting that they're doing that. I don't know if they're going to get rid of double pack-a-punching or triple pack-a-punching or whatever. However, I guess with Elemental Pop, you could make the case that it might not come back. But if it doesn't come back, it's not really the end of the world. Some of those effects on your guns can be incredibly overpowered. If you just wait a few like extra seconds, and let's say you have a KN94 back in Black Ops 3, then you can honestly just get fireworks on your gun, run a train in a circle, and then just shoot only a few bullets, and then it'll kill everybody. It is kind of overpowered. It didn't give you XP though. I noticed that because I used to play Black Ops 3 a fairly large amount, but they were kind of overpowered, so I honestly wouldn't be mad if they didn't bring it back. It might actually be a good thing, to be perfectly honest. But regardless, this is a pretty cool perk, and I actually like the inclusion of it. Another crazy thing that I actually kind of fuck with is the idea of tiers for their perks. As of right now, it says you need to earn raw Ethereum crystals. And in order to do that, you have to reach milestones within the game or by successful exfiltration, which I would assume would be through the extra game mode Exfil, which apparently is another really fucking cool thing where you're actually able to beat the map. Now, if you've ever played custom zombies maps on the computer, then you would know that most of those maps have a buyable ending. But now it looks like they're finally bringing that into consoles and giving you the opportunity to be able to play a game mode that actually allows for the escape of the main characters, which is fucking amazing. So according to Treyarch.com, in Exfil, starting at the end of round 10 and every 5 rounds after, you'll have this option to use a radio in the starting area of the map to call in Exfil. Now what happens is when you call in Exfil, the normal round that you're playing on will end and you'll be given this objective to reach an Exfil site within a specific time. Now if you've ever played Call of Duty Ghosts, you would know that at the end of the extinction map, I guess most iconically the first one, you would know that there is an escape at the end where after you set the last drill and all the little blob things that you're trying to kill are, completely gone, they drop a nuke on the place and you have to get the fuck out of there. So that's kind of the same idea. You have to get to this chopper within a specific time limit. The only difference here is you have to clear the area before you can get on. So that kind of sounds pretty cool. I don't expect many people to be playing that one, considering it's not traditional zombies, but that is a really cool option, and I actually really like that. Another thing is they're adding this ping system to the game, which is fantastic. It's going to be kind of like the same idea, I would imagine, as Warzone, but the cool thing about it is they're going to include it into zombies as well, which, you know, I don't know how that's necessarily going to work. I don't really see much to point out, but the fact that you're able to do that is fantastic for people who don't like or don't have a microphone to use. The amount of information that they're giving on Treyarch.com is actually immense, so if you guys want to see me do another video on this, definitely let me know. There's so many things coming out, it's crazy. I could easily split this into another video. I think another amazing thing that they're doing is they're not only adding crossplay, so you know, Xbox Series X, PS5, but they're actually adding cross-gen, which I think is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic thing to do. But they're doing this for zombies, which is even fucking greater. I absolutely love that. So now it's going to be even easier to find a match on the map that you probably love. However, they are releasing a battle pass. I think every single person knew that this was going to come. I don't necessarily think that this is the worst decision they could have done, because they are releasing DLC for the game for free, so they need to make money somehow. And so I would imagine that having a battle pass is probably the best opportunity for them to do that. And I think it does incentivize some people to want to give back for all the free things that they're adding to the game. If you've watched my battle passes suck video, then you probably know that I'm going against my reasoning in that video just a little bit here, but the only reason why I am is because if they do this battle pass right, then it'll actually be worth the money. If they don't fill in random fucking slots with worthless garbage, I think the battle pass might actually be, you know, maybe worth your $10 or whatnot. It all depends on what they add to the battle pass and what they have as a variety and as a whole for everything. But I think one of the last things I want to touch on is the fact that they're adding field upgrades, which is fantastic. It says right here on CallOfDuty.com, outside of weaponry, players can deploy field upgrades as proactive abilities that add another layer to squad-based tactics. Charge them up by killing zombies, then deploy them in times of desperate need. From offensive buffs to abilities that aid in evasion or healing and reviving, these field upgrades are made to fit numerous playstyles and situations. So I do like this idea. I think this is pretty dang cool. I think the ability to have field upgrades in zombies is pretty sick. The only thing that I'm noticing as I read through all the cool things that are coming to zombies is it gets me a little scared for the series as a whole. And the thing that I'm noticing about it is the fact that they're adding so much stuff that it's kind of straying a tad bit away from what zombies is at its core. If you guys have ever played Infinite Warfare or Advanced Warfare, you would know that the zombies in those games just really aren't that great. They just didn't hit. I think that adding a lot of things to Call of Duty is a fantastic idea. I think it's good as a whole, and the ability to have an immense amount of variety in your game is a fantastic way to get people to come back to play over and over and over, especially hit a variety of different player bases that may not like the Call of Duty scene in general. However, the thing that I really don't want to see happen in this game is I don't want it to seem so far away from normal COD zombies that it ends up becoming unappealing to some people. If you guys have ever played Black Ops 3 at its prime, you would know that there was an immense amount of conversation and arguments around whether or not Black Ops 3 zombies was too complex. And it honestly got me thinking, because if you've ever played Origins back on Black Ops 2, you would know that that map, compared to every other zombies map, was so insanely complex that it was almost a challenge to just play the map in general, because you had to do all these different things to be able to just survive past a certain round, especially to fight the Panzer that would drop from the sky every like 3 rounds or so. So there was a big problem in Black Ops 3, and I guess you could say Black Ops 2, considering I brought up Origins, that the games were a little bit too complex. And I don't want zombies to be so unbelievably new and so unbelievably packed with new stuff that it ends up taking away from what zombies is at its core. I want to still have that same zombies experience, but I don't want to be forced to do things and learn a billion different new things about each map in order to survive past like round 30. I mean, you can probably chalk that up as me being lazy, right? However, it's a different story when you force people to try and do things or try and learn things in a map in order to survive past a fairly low round. Again, I brought up Origins earlier on because you kind of can't kill that Panzer unless you have a unbelievably good wonder weapon, or unless you have the staffs. And if you want to kill the Panzer as quick as possible and as easy as possible and survive for the longest time, you need to get the staffs. And if you want to survive for even longer, you have to upgrade the staffs. They end up kind of burning out at around like round 35 maybe, depending on the staff that you have. But overall, this isn't a bad tactic. I agree with what they're doing, and I actually like the fact that they're adding all this new stuff. I'm just praying that they don't stray so far away from zombies that it ends up feeling like Infinite Warfare zombies. I don't want that kind of idea. I want that core zombies experience. It looks like it's that core zombies experience from all the screenshots that I'm seeing and all the screenshots you guys have probably seen on the screen so far throughout this video. But putting it into this realm of too complex might be a turnoff for a lot of people. That's just a thought that I had as I was reading through all this new stuff. There's a lot of things I didn't cover, by the way. So if you guys would like to see another video, then definitely let me know, and I'll cover all the things that I did not cover, and maybe even new information that's coming with Black Ops Cold War in the future. Regardless, I hope you guys liked this video. I know it's been a little bit since I've made one. I think it's been like almost 2 weeks, but the last video I made was so chock full of editing that I was like, you know, I should probably take a little bit of a break, and especially since I had an incredibly loaded week with college after that happened. So once I released the speedrunning video, I was like, oh my god, I'm crapped out. I edited for, I think, maybe an entire day's worth of time. I shouldn't necessarily say editing. I should probably say that I spent preparing and editing for that video through an entire day's worth of time. It did take a while to make. But, you know, regardless, I hope you guys liked it. If you guys want to see it, then check it out. Go for it. That would be sick. And at the end of the day, if you guys liked this video, give it a like. If you disliked it, then dislike it. If you did like it, however, then why not subscribe? It helps me out, lets my channel grow, and lets me know that what kind of content I'm making is the content that you guys want to see. And after all that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. See you in the next one.
I've been holding on.